All right.
Ready?
Just going to wait a few minutes. Go ahead, hit it. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to Otto's Grotto, all things geek and unique. No, we're going to hold off for a couple minutes. We're going to go live on Instagram in a few minutes.
What are you doing?
No, we're going to hold off for a couple minutes. We're going to go live on a little bit because you can hear it. In a few minutes. Yeah. There we go. Nice. All right. So we got people popping up.
Exclusionaries already on.
All right.
Walkers, HBK, welcome.
That's all right. We got some followers already, huh? All right. So, welcome to Otto's Grotto, all things geek and unique, featuring three men in a basement. Tonight, I am Everett Hillman. As always, to my right, I have my partner, Roger Levesque, who is the assistant captain to this, the vice president of this ship. And tonight, we have the executive producer, Birdie 1869. He's actually helping out a guest star tonight. We do have a guest star tonight, our good friend, Mr. John Petray, who is the brewer of Phantom Brewing, which is in Wethersfield, Connecticut. So if everybody could give him a follow on Instagram right now, Phantom Brewing, that's actually the libations that we'll be having tonight.
We've been trying to get him to take that off. But,
What is that? What's Mr. Walker saying?
Thumbs down already.
Oh, the Michigan hat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go blue! Don't make me start singing.
Everett's gonna ban that Michigan hat.
yeah. No, it's okay. No, it's okay. We have freedom of speech. We have freedom of speech. So we actually have a little bit of a we have a little bit of a guest audience today. Like I said, we have Phantom Brewing tonight. He's actually got my libation sitting in that can right there. There we go, right there. So he's actually brewed 3 Men in a Basement IPA. So everybody on a Saturday night, cheers. Enjoy yourself, Mr. Petray. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
So this is a great episode we have for you tonight, and thank you for everybody who gave us reposts. Ex-Illusionary hooked us up. Chris Shaver hooked us up. Jem Mint has been helping me out, and TiVo has also been helping me out too. And I also want to give another shout out because if you see the posters down here, that X-Force right over here was from KP Henderson. He's hooked me up with so many different posters for the show that I can't be more thankful enough. And over there we have the new Avengers homage to Avengers #1 with the Voyager, which I actually don't know much about at all, to be honest with you. So maybe that might be a topic of conversation. But we have 3 things that we're going to do tonight. The 3 things we're going to do, we're going to talk about some new comics. We're going to talk about some new comics. We're going to talk about the Image show on Tyler Kirkham's Secret History of Comic Books.
Rob
Kirkman. I apologize. Yeah, Tyler. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I know. But to me, it was awesome. It talked about Image, and I was buying when these Image books came out, and I was that guy who bought them all. I've got a stack of them sitting right here, and that's something we're going to talk about. Plus, we finally have the 5 books back from CGC that we're going to open up that we talked about.
We're doing that first because I know you guys are dying.
No, we're going to wait. We're going to wait. We talked about this.
We're going to talk about the TV show first.
We're going to talk about that. And
we're going to give people a chance to get on.
Yeah, and it's important. And let me tell you a funny story about these boxes, though. We have a local, we live in a relatively small suburban town, and our postman is very good to us. And we got the notification. Yes, Roger and I live in the same neighborhood, so we share the same postman. And the books went out today. And we're like, Roger's like, look, I'm gone all day. I'm like, no problem.
And they're addressed to me.
Yes.
And they're coming from CGC, so they have to be signed for.
Right. So he's like, we tipped this guy enough that we should be able to do this.
You would think.
You would think, right?
Wait.
We tip him very well for a postman, I mean, the executive producer in the real world.
Let's put it out there.
Yeah, we tip the...
40?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay. The
right.
double sawbuck. So.
Mr. Tommy said the B word.
Oh, Mr. Tommy can hold
That's
off,
real
right?
nice.
So here's the funny story.
Real
So,
chair.
Bubba, can you hit the screen on my Mac? I know it's recording, but just hit the screen right there. No, the touchpad. Yeah. So, it's 9:30 this morning. I had to run an errand. I'm driving around. Off in the street, I see the mailman truck. I follow him. He takes a right. I take a right. He takes a left. I take a left. And I pull up. Once he stops and he goes, dude, are you following me for Roger's packages? And I'm like, how'd you know, man? So we actually dealt with it. We signed off on it. And so we have our books from CGC. We have the 5 of them. And we're going to talk about those. But let's talk about some new comic books that we picked up because there's been a lot of great books that have come out in the past week and a half to 2 weeks. And I got shamed at my LCS for not picking up my comic book hauls. And unfortunately, the executive producer, Birdie 1869. What's that?
Can I do my thing now?
Yeah, of course.
Right. You do yours
Yeah.
and then I'll do mine.
So I got shamed into going to my LCS and picking up the books that I had. So one of the new books that I picked up is I'm a huge fan of John Tyler Christopher's Star Wars variant covers. So I picked this one up. This is Star Wars number 41 with Zuckuss the Bounty Hunter. And that's one of the variants that I picked up. I've been collecting all of these. I have them all from issue 1 all the way through the top. I met John Tyler Christopher a few times. He signed them all. His signature is very small. He actually writes it right down the side. So it's very difficult to see. But that's the first book I picked up for this week. Did you pick up anything?
I did.
Right.
I'm a big fan. Usually I like the Frank Cho variants of Harley Quinn, but there's just something about this cover. I don't remember who.
Frank Cho didn't do that's a special.
No, I know that. I'm saying usually I'm a fan of Frank Cho. This is the first time because I don't typically collect Harley Quinn. So I picked.
Says, never seen that Michigan hat before. Oh wait, there one today. Bandwagon.
That guy.
Bandwagon, yeah, that's me. So I picked this up strictly for the cover. I thought it was a cool cover. It's a cool variant. I don't typically collect Harley Quinn unless there's a neat variant. So one of the other ones I picked up online was Harley Quinn kicking a globe. It said 2017 and it said good riddance. I did buy that one, but I bought that online.
That's
so
right,
I figured I would show this one off since I didn't get that one yet.
Nice. Shortbox Hero just jumped online. Thanks for jumping in, buddy. So I picked up this. I was a huge fan of Old Man Logan when it first came out. I was a huge fan of Old Man Logan when it first came out, so I picked this one up. This was Old Man Hawkeye. This is the Ron Lim variant. I know there was some other ones out there, but I was able to pick this one up for a decent price, and I'm very happy about it. And I actually read this book, and it was really cool because this is before he goes blind. It's a prequel, right? So it's a prequel to Old Man Logan, and he's obviously sick with glaucoma in it. He's losing. What's that? Oh, we're talking about the football game too. Oh, we got a lot of stuff going on right. We got football, we got comics, we got a lot of things going on. So this was very cool because this is before he goes blind, and at the end, the last page has a surprise by one of my favorite villains in the Marvel Universe. Spoiler alert, we'll stop right there. So pick up number 1, look at the last page. I hope you enjoy it. That was another book that I picked up this week. So very happy with that and a good read. All right. So.
All right. Thanks to my very good friend,
Woo! Hot
Bernie.
right now. Hot.
Very, very good friend who we knew these books were coming out, and he got to the LCS and asked them to put one in my pull folder. It was the Matina variant of this week's Flash.
Right.
I'm lucky enough that this is a weekly pull of mine at a different LCS, and they pulled the variant for me. So I have 2 of these now, thanks to them, and thanks to my very good friend Bernie who looked out for us.
Coming out.
For the first time.
Right. Now, hold on, though. Is this a 1-to-1 or this is the regular newsstand?
It's a cover B.
So Matina went and did a cover B and stuff like that.
They actually kicked off Howard Porter off of this issue.
Did they really? Howie Porter is from Connecticut. Actually, South Weathersfield, Hartford area.
He's been doing a lot of Flash since way back.
Yeah, absolutely. Howie Porter's been on that for a while.
He's been doing the cover Bs for this, because this is like the final issue of the arc.
Right. That's a great one. Captain Cold, great character, great villain.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Love it.
The next book I picked up is Darth Vader number 5. Not a variant, not anything, but this is a great cover. My God, I don't even know anything about this. I haven't read this yet. This has been fun. That's an old cover. That's an old.
Darth Vader number 5.
Yeah, Darth Vader number 5. So.
Maybe that's why Eric was getting pissed.
I don't know, but.
Tommy said, "Hey, Holman, where's your University of Tampa hat?"
Yeah, don't worry about that. So this is a great cover. I love it with the Darth Vader getting all beat up and stuff like that. Mr. Tommy's got a lot to say.
Yeah.
I was only at the University of Tampa for 6 months, and then they asked me to leave very politely.
He's a very lonely,
So,
he's a very bitter, lonely man.
Excuse me.
Yo, that's
So-
funny as heck.
Yeah, that was pretty funny, and it cost my father, God rest his soul in heaven, a lot of money for me to go to the University of Tampa, but that's okay. When he passed away, I said, "Dad, are you still mad at me about Tampa?" And he looked at me. He said, "Yes," and then he went to heaven. But no, that's a joke. And how sick you might think that is, that's a pretty funny story. And so that's my Darth Vader. So we're not going to talk about Tampa anymore. What say you, Roger?
What say me? So this is a new mini-series that's come out. I bought the variant edition. It's called X-Men Grand Design. And what it basically is it's going to be an overview of all the mutants, how they came into the Marvel universe, and like their origins and all the major stories that have to do with mutants. I read this first one. It basically is the Watcher
Right.
And he's looking down and he's talking to somebody. He says, "Here's everything I've found since I've been watching." And he starts to tell the story.
Does he really?
Yeah, it starts from the very beginning
I never
with
seen
Xavier
this.
being a baby.
Pat, you know about this?
Yeah, that's the cornerbacks variant.
Oh, okay.
So and it,
Corner boxes on it.
and it was
Yeah.
no, this isn't a corner box, is it?
Yeah, well, all the corner boxes, like those were all the.
Oh
versions.
yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it was actually a pretty cool read. This
Not gonna
one,
get it.
this one I'm going to continue to read, to buy and read because I thought it was interesting, and I think it's like a 3 or 4 book series. So.
Nice.
And
That's
I bought
pretty
the
cool.
variant version because variant horror. That's
Yeah,
why.
well, that's it. Variant horror just hit like
Wait.
variant horror just hit. How many postings?
1,400.
1,400. So
1,400.
shout out to Nemesis Prime, my buddy from Jersey, Justin. He just hit 1,400 hashtags for his variant horror thing. So that was pretty good on Instagram.
The original variant.
The original variant
Original.
horror, as he likes to say. So this was another book, Batman White Knight. I don't know too much about this book. Maybe the executive producer could fill us in.
I haven't read it yet.
You haven't yet, but what's the significance of it? I know everyone was hopping on it.
Neo Joker or something.
Female Joker.
Okay, female Joker.
Neo Joker.
Okay, all right. So, Evs, you see that right there? Can you zoom in on that
She
maybe?
has a title.
She has a title, right? So is everybody on that book? I don't know too much about it. But it seems like a popular book. It came in nice and crisp. And I'll take it. I'll put it in a collection. We'll see what happens. Not something I'm going to send out to CGC, but just a good book to have. All right? So that was another pick that I had.
The reason I bought this
You guys want
is
one for one here?
simply because who doesn't love Snagglepuss? Who did, like, as a kid, did you watch Laugh Olympics?
Of course. Laugh Olympics
I mean,
great.
exit stage,
Hanna-Barbera.
and they called it exit stage right. I
Yeah.
mean, seriously.
Yeah.
So I bought both covers. I believe this one's the variant. I won't be I won't be buying any more of these.
Okay.
Unless there's another kick-ass cover, variant horror. It's a political story. It's set in the communist era, and Snagglepuss is a screenwriter. Huckleberry Hound is in it.
Right.
He shows up. He's a novelist.
Get out.
So Snagglepuss is married to another tiger, pink tiger, and he drops her off at home and meets his boyfriend at the bar, and
Okay.
greets him with a loving kiss.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to try and find him guilty of treason so they can put him in the electric chair.
Oh, Jesus. Great kid story.
Yeah, I'm not going. It didn't catch me. I'm not a political guy. I have no interest in reading the rest of the story.
Yeah.
But that's a kick-ass cover, and that's why I bought it.
Awesome. So we got my boy Fett just jumped online, huge Michigan fan. He's saying shout out to you.
Thank
Go
you.
Big Blue.
Thank you.
All the way from the West Coast. Storm Shadow just online. So thanks for jumping on from there. So I want to show this book off. This is Phoenix Resurrection number 3. And I missed number 2, so I haven't read it, but I started looking through this, and I posted this on Instagram the other day. And this, as a comic collector, made me feel good. It made me feel great because the artist at the time gave a throwback to one of my favorite artists of all time, Dave Cockrum. So in the story, the X-Men are going through a cemetery, and it was Cockrum Memorial Cemetery. And Dave Cockrum started with Giant Size X-Men number 1. He did 94, 95, 96. He went all the way up through the original through the Uncanny X-Men, which is one of my favorite runs of all time. I met him when I was a kid at a local comic shop called The Bookie in East Hartford, which is, a suburb of Hartford, and is now a corner store. So to think that this little bodega, you know what I mean, that's selling like bootleg videos out of it, is a corner store is a comic shop that I used to go to all the time as a kid.
Zoom out. Zoom out.
Is pretty cool. So I love to see Cockrum being recognized for his work and stuff like that. He passed away. He also did stuff, of course, like he did stuff like Futurians. He did some other stuff, and he was just a really great artist. And you can find a lot of his books right now, so a lot of his covers and a lot of Bronze Age stuff. So Dave Cockrum, one of my favorite artists. All right. So
That's all I got for variant.
that's all you
got one more?
I do have one more. This was the Avengers variant, Old Man Hawkeye, which is the cover swipe of Avengers number 4. Pat, what was this? 1-to-1?
I don't know what
Per
the
store?
Avengers variants are.
Okay.
It's not one per store.
It's not one per store. All right.
It's Avengers month, so there's gonna be every title's gonna have an Avengers variant.
Really? Okay. Nice. I didn't know that. So, all right. So, yeah. So, this was it. I picked this up. And I'm just happy to have these books. Avengers number 4 is one of my favorite books. I do have that book. And eventually I'm going to get it cleaned by Chris Shaver. He's done a lot of pressing for us and stuff like that. So, those are my new books. Pat, you have anything you want to talk about?
Well, you want me to show my new books?
Yeah, what do you
Yeah,
got?
we'll do it now before you guys get into your unboxing.
Well, we're gonna talk about Image in a minute, but
Alright,
you
I'll
picked
do
up
mine.
some
You
new
guys
stuff?
showed your new books.
All right.
Gotta keep it
Yeah.
fresh.
I mean, you drink and you know things, so
I drink and I know things.
you know things. There you go. Clearly on his shirt.
Period.
So
Roger, hand me that one.
Dad, didn't you buy that?
Mine says I drink bourbon and I know things.
really, that's great.
Roger, hand me that what if.
All right. So
All right.
usually I go on towards the end of the show.
Yeah,
My
Let's switch it up.
out in the
today.
wild.
Switch it up.
we like to switch it up.
We went on what 2 weeks ago when I came.
2
back
weeks
from
ago,
Maine?
the Wednesday
So-
night Hoth edition.
Yes.
The Wednesday
yes.
night Hoth edition in the middle of the
So
snowstorm.
that Wednesday I had a full short box. Mostly all this stuff is new stuff. This is actually Everett's Flash.
This is for me?
That's
You're
yours.
all right,
yes.
buddy. I appreciate that. There we go. Francisco Bettina, Captain
Got in a
Cole.
lot of trouble, and I'm gonna
I
be
got a
paying-
lot of trouble.
And
There
I'm
we
going to
go.
be paying a lot more of my show now, at my shop now because of him.
Yeah.
But, that's a story for another day.
For another day, another time.
All right, so just Detective Comics. It's been a great read so far. One of the few that I've been keeping up with. Detective Comics, good
Nice.
read.
Phantom Ship Brewing. This is Phantom Brewing. This is really good right here.
Right.
I like this
You want to
taste.
do our first giveaway?
You want to do a giveaway? All right. How are we gonna do it? How are we gonna do
We're
it?
going to do,
Time to do a giveaway.
Perfect.
how many viewers we have?
We got 13 right now. 13.
All right.
What, you have
Well-
more copies?
Well, yeah, I got more copies.
Oh, jeez. You're on fire.
So then I got
Oh,
I
man.
got a couple more Matinas.
Woo!
I will give
There
one
we
away.
go. Big baller.
Hopefully to somebody that doesn't have one. Because I like to hook up. First appearance of Captain Cold. First person to answer.
Yep. So who has the first appearance of Captain Cold? Ev, you got to look out for that. All right.
Captain what? Gold?
Captain
Cold.
Oh
That's
boy.
what I thought you said.
All right. Cold.
All right,
All right.
Sorry, guys.
Who went?
Should have trained her better than that.
No, she's all right. Evie Rose. We got Evie Rose on the camera. We got Everett Joseph hanging out.
Batman 121.
Negative. That's Mr. Freeze.
That's Mr. Freeze. That's right. That's actually a raffle win by that
All right,
Everett
so I
has.
got Supergirl, the new Art Germ cover.
Love Art Germ's covers on Super.
Really? Is it Art Germ? Like that's his last name, Art Germ?
No, his real name is Stanley Lau. Art Germ
Showcase
is-
8,
Showcase 8.
Showcase 8 wins.
Phantom Brewing.
Phantom
Yeah,
Brewing.
baby.
Woo! Unbelievable.
All right, he's this.
Phantom
All right.
Brewing.
We will give it away. We'll give a different question.
All right.
Yeah, he doesn't count.
Because he's in the house.
I'm not a baller like.
Yeah.
Wait, no, you got the variant.
What's that? I got a few of those. I got a
All
few.
right, I
don't
got the
even know what
regular.
that one
This is the regular version. Actually, I do
Give
have
it
the
to that
nice
guy
one.
who answered right after.
All right.
Phoenix
Who's
Resurrection.
who's fat? Damn it, Showcase 8.
No,
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's-
we're gonna disqualify that.
Okay.
We're gonna
No,
we're gonna
Alright.
do
KP Henderson.
Who can say the
KP Henderson one?
No,
Yeah,
no,
right
negative,
after.
negative. They all saw the answer already.
All right, they all saw the answer. Sorry guys, we'll make it work.
The actor who played Captain Cold in the Flash TV series.
Ooh, the new
Anybody
one?
in this
The new
room
one?
is disqualified
The
from
new
answering.
one. The new show right now. The new show right now. The show that's out right
You
now.
know the
How
answer
many
to that.
more shows of Flash are there?
Well, wasn't he in the other show with the other guy that played the Flash? This guy, that guy, the other guy. I don't know, but
How many Flash TV series?
well,
do
there
you
was
know?
one from the '90s that wasn't that good. You know.
Oh no, I'm
What's his
talking
name?
the
Oh, right now. Okay,
the
so
one
who
on the
was that?
CW verse.
Who was on the
The
CW?
actor who plays Captain Cold in
You
it.
know his
Guy who played in Prison Break. That's right. That's right. Let's
Yeah,
make this
but what's his
happen.
name?
We gotta.
Hurry up!
Forget
Whoever
his
can
name.
Google
There
the
we go.
quickest.
Miller.
Wentworth Miller.
Who got it first?
Fet. Fet with it. Come on, we gotta give it to Fet. There you go, Fet. There we go.
Somebody
And he didn't answer
Yeah.
the Showcase 8,
It's not
so it's
Deadpool or Mr. Wonka.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Walker Deadpool like a fat one.
Right.
Good for you, buddy. Good
Jenny
for you.
Frozone has been killing the Wonder Woman covers, and I really like this cover.
Yeah, let me see
Got
that.
like the feathers.
Yeah,
Like,
very nice. All right.
So, Jenny Frozone. Just speaking of Deadpool, just a Deadpool pull.
All right.
Punisher pull.
see that?
Clayton Crane doing the covers.
All right.
Punisher is the new War Machine. I haven't read it yet.
Really? Punisher in a War Machine suit?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I haven't read it yet, but I mean-
Okay.
Roger already showed this, so
Which one's that?
It's a nice cover, right?
Yeah, I like that. I'm like 2 out of 3 of us have
Nemesis
it.
already
You know, it's
showed
so
it, too.
funny how 2 out of 3 of my
Nemesis. 3 out of
3-minute
4.
basement.
Nemesis
Nemesis
had
had me
it
right.
revealed.
My name must be Skip.
There it
Just
is.
call me
There's the one
Skip.
I
And then this is the Frank
That's
Cho.
the Frank Cho one, right?
All right. And you
I
have
got
that too?
On the way from the mail from Midtown.
Yeah, so
Oh,
my
and
name's
then
Skip.
a hot book. I found this at Newberry
Shot for you.
in the thing.
Yeah, oh my
Whoops.
God.
I just bent.
Resto 5 just jumped in. Thank you, brother.
Thanos 13.
Oh,
First
here we
appearance
go.
of
Hot
Cosmic
book
Book.
right now. What's that?
But this
Oh.
is the headshot.
That's the
variant.
headshot,
It's not
right.
going as much as the Albuquerque
You
variant.
have the Albuquerque?
I do have the Albuquerque.
In that box?
No.
Oh, all right. The Albuquerque box
I don't
is
want
all
to get
good.
hit when I stop.
Ah, stop it, stop it.
All right, I picked this up from his our LCS, the one he was talking about.
Yeah.
The Avengers 1 per store party sketch
Okay,
variant.
let me see.
It's the one you have.
Yeah, I do have that one. Okay, I don't know too much about that, but I picked that up.
First appearance of Voyager, I think. who's
Right.
done-
Which is Voyager,
I don't
which
have
is on that
nothing.
poster, so.
But,
All right.
Oh, and then I filled 2 fillers on my Batman run.
All right, let's take a look.
384 and 355.
Nice. And who's on that cover?
Cat.
Walker says Becky
Here we-
doesn't have the Popeye variant.
The Bat and the
Oh,
cat.
the Popeye variant.
I heard it sold. Yeah, I know. No, I do not have that.
Look at that. You see how quickly he fell? Look how quickly. I don't know anything about
20
that
bucks.
variant.
No, you don't. Batman 188. First appearance of the Eraser.
Love it. Love it. Great villain. Great villain.
Great. I mean, these Batman books back in the day were
Villain.
rubbed out, and look, they're like,
They're rubbing him out. Like, I shouldn't say that, rubbing him out.
oh, speaking of our LCS,
Yeah.
we always say how he leaves 50 short boxes and
Yeah.
all over the place, no order, whatever.
Nothing.
So he likes to write the prices on the back. Brother, if you're watching, please don't change your process. So I find one that says $30 on the
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
I find another that doesn't have a price tag on the back.
Yeah.
And I got it for 10. And it's not Deja Vu. This is my second. I got this
You
in
did
May.
show that off. That's a nice looking book.
So now I got two copies of the first appearance of Psycho Man.
Yep.
First-
Speculative. Very speculative.
First, yeah. Spawn 281
All
black
right.
and white variant.
Nice. We got a lot of viewers. 13 viewers right now. Thanks, guys. Give us some thumbs up. That'd be
Spider-Man,
awesome.
Deadpool, Venom. The Venom Inyuk Lee variant. Star Wars 41.
Let me see Star Wars 41. Oh, I didn't see that one either. Oh, man. You know, I'm not on my variant game, you
More
guys.
flashes.
You know, like these guys are on
More-
the Midtown sites. They're on this site. They're on that site. You know,
couple-
I often say I don't.
a couple
I'm not
more
on these
Batman
sites.
38s.
Oh, man.
And then, all right, now we're going to get into the variant part.
Oh, here we go. Hashtag variant whore.
Hashtag
Love
variant
that.
whore.
Love it.
that cover.
Old Man Hawkeye, throwback to, I mean, to me, I don't think it's an exact
Logan.
cover swipe of
No, it's
Old Man
close.
Logan, but it's very, very similar. Same
Can I see?
artist.
Absolutely love that.
Oh, I'd love to have that. Do you have a copy of that for me?
Negative.
Megan, this is unbelievable.
For $80, you can have it.
That was what you paid for it?
No, I paid 20.
How'd you pay 20 for it?
Well, Midtown.
You know people?
Midtown blows up their prices. When
Yeah, okay.
Midtown
I got
always
you. I
has
got
it.
you. I got you.
Well, I didn't know.
All right, then actually this isn't a new one, but I found it in the back bin variants. Iron Fist number 1, the 1 in 50 Alex Ross variant.
Yeah. How much you pay for that?
Is
I'm
everything
sorry.
about
I'm sorry.
money?
No, it's not. It's not. It's all
I
about
paid-
the deal. It's
I
not
paid-
about the money that you spend. I just wanted you to know.
I paid-
It's about the art of the deal. Is what I want you guys to know.
I paid
So,
$14.99 minus the 20%, so I paid $11.99 plus
excellent.
tax.
Very good. High five for the good
Thanks.
price.
All right.
Deal.
High five for the good price. No, yeah. It's
Now,
about
this
the
one-
deal.
I've been getting the Venom variants, but this has got to be one of the ugliest variants I've ever seen. But I got it because
Did
I'm a
McNiven
completist.
do the art on Old Man?
Yes,
Old
the
Man
1 in
Hawkeye
50.
too?
Yep, and he did the 1 in 100, which is a sketch.
Okay.
but I don't have
Yeah,
it.
McNiven. I saw
Can you
that,
show this
yeah.
one closer to the thing? Because this has got to be the ugliest.
Yeah.
This has got to be the ugliest. I mean, it's not hard to draw Venom. Everybody does it.
Right. Come
I
on.
mean,
Everybody draws Venom.
I got it because I'm a completist.
Very good.
All right, so that's it.
Wow, that's a
And
nice book.
Phoenix Resurrection. I love this cover. Stephanie Hans, 1 in 25. It's just
Very cool.
It's kind of like. I mean,
Very
it's right
cool.
up there with the Archer number 1.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Phoenix holding in Cyclops' eyes. And then my only big pickup over the last 2 weeks since the last one is.
Oh, we have a
Now,
big
this
pickup?
This wasn't on my
Well, hold on a
2018.
second. Did I know about this?
Yes, I told you when I was up in Maine.
You did,
I
you did, you
I
did.
ordered it. I bought it off Facebook.
Yeah.
Guy posted it up for sale. I claimed it within like 7 minutes of his post.
Yeah.
I seen what everybody was paying raw. Now I usually don't do signature series, but the price I got it.
Oh, nice. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I love Rick Remender's signature. It's kind of
Yeah.
like got that
Awesome.
symbol. Scotty Young does
Scotty
it
Young
different
did it.
than what his regular signature for the cover is. But what if
Dumbest story ever.
Awesome.
Venom-
Dumbest story ever.
what
They
if
just sat
Venom
there and-
possessed Deadpool or whatever?
Yeah, right.
You know.
Dumbest story ever.
Dumbest
But-
story.
Wanted this book. It's a yellow label, only 9.2, but I'll take it.
Nice. You got a lot of good pickups. There we go.
Yeah. So,
That's been a good week for you,
all
you know?
Fet's getting that. You're
Fet's
taking
getting
care of
that.
the shipping for
No.
the money you're costing me.
Oh, my God. I am not good at this shipping, as Nemesis
Yeah.
Prime will say. You know what I mean?
As who?
So-
As how many people?
That's
will
how
say?
many people. Well, a lot of people will say it. You know, I apologize. You know, I'll get this up to you. I'm good for it. So, so here we go, and we're going to talk about the next thing we want to talk about, which is Robert Kirkham's Secret History of Comics. And I don't know if you guys have been watching it, but it's been really awesome. They started off with Marvel. They started off with Wonder Woman. Then they went to, other stories. And Superman. Superman was great. If you're a Neil Adams fan, you need to watch this because Neil Adams does wonderful things for Joel Schuster.
Just when you want to hate him.
What's that? Just when you want to hate him, right? Just when you want to hate him.
Go there and he puts his hand on your book and
And you
he
want to
won't
say
look up when he signs
you're
the
wicked
thing.
expensive and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And next thing you know, he
find
saved
out.
Superman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He saved Superman.
He did the right thing.
Yeah, so that's it. So we watched the Image one, which was the Independent Comic Books, I think it was, or the Renegades of Comics, and I thought this one was really, really good. And because it talked about, because I went through this in the 90s, I bought the Liefeld books. I remember Rob Liefeld in the 501 commercial. I remember him doing that whole commercial. I remember S-Force coming out. Oh yeah, the 501 commercial was unbelievable. So, so we were talking about that, and it was been really awesome. So what was really cool was the fact that they have all these artists, and how the things work out is really unbelievable how Image Comics came to be. So you had Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, Joel, who was it? Jim Valentino, Eric Larson, and Jim Lee. So they were the young guys. They came in and they drew X-Men and Spider-Man like nobody could imagine. Like they talked how nobody could draw Spider-Man like Todd McFarlane did. And we all know that because of all the comic books and all the art and stuff like that he did. Jim Lee was drawing the X-Men. He brought the X-Men back. They had the two different teams. He was on fire with it. Silvestri, I believe Silvestri was doing Wolverine. Silvestri was doing Wolverine, and I forgot what.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Guardians. And Eric Larson was doing something. Oh, he also did Spider-Man too. Spider-Man after McFarlane. So that was really cool. And then in the story, McFarlane gets a little mad, right? He's got a little edge to him.
Yeah.
Right? So he calls.
Yeah, you mean when he was with Marvel?
Yeah, when he was at Marvel.
Yeah. Him and Liefeld, I think, were both, the way
Yeah.
they pictured it is the two of them together.
Yeah.
Were getting mad that they were, as they said it, the elevator don't go any higher.
Yeah, the elevator don't
We're
go
not
any
going
higher.
to make any more money.
Right.
And they're going
We
to
have to
steal our
protect our
characters.
guys.
And they're going to send us packing just like they did with
Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby.
That was incredible. They kept saying about everything that they did with Jack Kirby and how Jack Kirby got shysted and everything like that. And we all know that it was Marvel in the 60s and 70s, Jack Kirby did everything. Gene Colan, Steve Ditko, and Stan was there. But, in a lot of big companies, these things happen to everybody, and it's unfortunate. Steve Jobs, when he started forming Apple, there was a lot of people that didn't get credit for a lot of money that he did, but he ended up getting paid. So, unfortunately, this happens, and this is the world that we live in, but we are byproducts of them all. What's that? They should have had a union, right? So, then they formed Image Comics, and Image Comics came out, and they ran an ad about Youngblood #0, and Marvel was like, "Are you guys really doing this?"
Yeah.
Right?
Walker says Kirby gave them his blessing.
Oh, he did? Did he really? Okay, that's interesting. All right. So, I mean, what do you remember that? Because that's when I remember taking it.
Then when they started, they came up with like a little business plan
Yeah.
of what their company is.
Right.
Nobody owns, like the company Image didn't own
Yeah.
anybody's stuff.
Correct.
And they were allowed to do whatever they wanted.
They all had their own studios.
They all had their own studios,
Yep.
but nobody owned anything, so that they made the money on their books, and nobody could take it from them. And
Right.
nobody owned their characters. If you created a character, Image Comics did not own that.
Correct.
As if you created a character like Deadpool for Marvel,
Yeah.
they own that character.
Correct. Awesome. So then he came out with Youngblood, and I don't have Youngblood #1. I can't find that. I do have it. But, one of the other most epic books, and like I said, I was buying at the time. I was just in the middle of college, so I was kind of reinventing my comic book life. So I do have Spawn #1, and this hasn't seen a light of day in 15 years, and this is actually a newsstand variant. According to my executive producer, Bernie 1869, it's worth a couple bucks more, right?
I think so.
You think so?
Maybe
So
somebody more
Anybody else know?
anything about the Spawn 1
newsstand.
newsstand? You know, this might be CGC worthy, I think.
It's newsstand. I
If
think
it's
it
newsstand, yeah, I might have to do that. You know, I have never met the Todd father, but yeah, someday I will, and maybe if this book is clean enough and
It would be nice if he came to a con around here.
He
That'd
doesn't
be
really
shame.
come to the East Coast,
No.
man. You know, he doesn't come to the East Coast. So, so that was interesting to hear. And, you know, we heard about Liefeld and how he came to fruition. And we both have all three of us kind of have mixed feelings about Liefeld, you know. So he charges a lot more, obviously, that you all know for the Deadpool and Cable signatures.
If you go to a Comic-Con and you want his signature, it's what, $20?
$20.
But if you show them this, it automatically goes to 80, if not more.
Yes.
And
Right.
I just think that's a douche move.
Right? Okay.
I really do.
Yep.
And watching this show with
Yeah.
Image Comics, he is kind of a douche. And he was the first one to admit it when they weren't getting along.
Yep.
And he wanted to do some stuff and he wanted to kind of venture away, and the guys got mad at him. He's just like, I didn't care.
Yeah.
When McFarlane was like, we want to get rid of him, he's like, all right, I'm out of here. I don't care about you guys.
Right.
He left, you know, and he left for the money. He went back to
Yeah.
Marvel to do some drawing for them, strictly for the money, and left those other guys in the dust. And he basically said, everybody's mad at me, but I don't care.
Okay. Agreed.
And you know what? And as much as funny when we were at the Comic
Venom
Con
in Providence,
in Rhode
yeah.
Island, and Everett had him put on the gas and had him
I was
sign,
laying on the gas, something good.
made pretend he had a poster
That it won't come off the
since
wall,
he was
Pat.
a kid.
Yeah.
He's like, I bought this in '92, and he
I
bought
bought it
it
2 hours ago.
Yeah, I bought it like that day, and he signs it, and I'm standing there with my New Mutants. I'm not paying him $80
Yeah.
to sign one book. And I had a T-shirt on. I should have wore it.
You should have wore it.
It's a Deadpool T-shirt, but he's wearing a Canadians jersey. It's got the Canadians emblem.
Yeah.
And he looks at me. He goes, "Nice shirt. My children thank you."
Yes, absolutely. Which was
And at the moment, I'm like, "Oh, hey, that's cool."
Yeah.
No, that's such a douche thing to
Yeah,
say.
that's funny.
That means he sees the shirt. All he saw was money signs.
money signs.
That
It
means
says
he
money
got
on the
money
shirt.
for the shirt. Laughs on him. I bought it from a bootlegger. He didn't get none of that money.
last on him.
Deadpool
yeah.
apologizes for being late.
Oh well, thank you for jumping on
You
line.
missed
Deadpool
the
again,
giveaway.
you know? He missed our first giveaway.
All right, what do we?
This guy's rich. A rich douche.
Yeah, exactly.
What are we gonna ask?
Exactly.
Question we gonna ask.
So yes,
Oh, that's
sir.
about shit. I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask.
Hold on,
You got a
we
question?
need some libations. On
I'm
the
doing
side,
I'm doing a giveaway.
Yep.
Boy.
I'm gonna give away these 2 Image Comics. The
Deadpool
Surface.
says Liefeld is a complete ASS.
Woo!
Yes.
So we're not the only
We're
ones.
not the only ones.
All right.
I
Well,
was
you're not the only one. I like
Listen,
the guy.
I
That's
was
okay.
hoping when I watched the show, it would be like what happened with Neil Adams. Made me completely think different. But
Yeah.
it's the opposite. It reaffirmed to me that all he cares about money. He doesn't care about anybody else, and all he sees is dollar signs, and that makes him a douche. So,
Okay.
giving away these 2 comics. In the movie, or the
Okay.
TV show,
Yep.
Jim Lee left Image Comics right after Liefeld did.
Yep.
Where did he go?
He's not a douche.
He's not a douche, no.
Julie, definitely not. He's a nice guy.
No.
As far as
It was
where did he go,
the
what?
different, like, where did he go? He left them to go work somewhere else.
Okay. All right. So let's see what we're looking at right here. So,
Not a hashtag. Not a douche.
not a douche. Okay. DC.
Says
Yeah.
DC.
He went
Walkers?
to yeah, Mr.
Yeah, he went to
Walker's.
DC.
He did go to DC.
He
I
went to
didn't know that. I
DC.
didn't know
Yes,
that.
he's still there.
Yeah.
He's still
Well,
there.
now
He
he's
left-
like big.
Yeah.
big at
Well,
DC.
that's
Go to Wildstorm?
no. That's why he went there. They made him like an executive. Not
Interesting.
director. He went there for money, not to sell his characters or
Right.
draw, but he went there to help run the company.
Wow, that's incredible.
You watched the same show, right?
I did. You know,
Yeah.
I'm in and out though.
Because
you know, my attention span was
Liefeld
low.
left for the money, Jim
Right.
Lee left for the opportunity.
Correct. Yes.
He
exactly.
didn't go because they threw a bunch of money at him. He decided, in my best interest for my career,
Yeah.
I want to be an executive. I'm going to DC.
Right.
Where
Nice.
Liefeld's like, you're gonna give me $10,000? Screw these guys. I'm out.
Exactly. You know, and it was funny how.
So is that
they-
Walker's?
Yeah, Mr. Walker. That's awesome. Good for you.
I got your address on memory.
Exactly. But, you know, I do want to talk about real quick, and I'm not going to belabor this, about how the DC, the Image books were all about artwork. There was no story. There was no substance. And so the stuff just kept coming out. They were hammering them. They were selling issue after issue after issue. But there was no substance to the writers. And eventually, the comic book people figured it out. So I want to show a few books. These are all number ones from Image. I have my Spawn number one. I have, these are all sitting in my long boxes. I do have Savage Dragon number one by Eric Larson. One of my favorite, one of my favorite characters. I just went from that was a Spawn. I just went to a 9.6.
I was just looking it up.
I just went to a 9.6. That's Eric. That's Savage Dragon number one. Awesome. Dragon, jacked powers. New York cop. Great story.
Deadpool says early Image is trash.
Well, you know, it's...
The artwork's great. The stories are horrible.
Absolutely. This is the other Savage Dragon cover. I don't know if this was a 1-to-1.
And if you haven't seen the show, the creators of Image, McFarlane, those guys are the first ones to admit we were putting out books because we had great art.
Yes.
He says, but our stories were horrible.
And I think this is going to come to... This is very important now as a comic book collector. This is where it comes to as far as when is the bubble going to burst? Because Image, like baseball cards, produce so many copies that eventually they're worth nothing. And everybody was speculating. People were buying 10 copies of Youngblood, 10 copies of Spawn number one. And they produced so many of them at that time, then that's an issue. Now, we wonder if that's going to happen with the variants that are 1 in 25s, 1 in 50s. That's kind of the swing that we're having right now 20 years later, almost 30 years, 20 years later. So these questions I can't answer. I'm not, I don't have a crystal ball. So another book, this was one of my favorites. This was Mark Silvestri's version of, this was called Cyberforce. This was mutants with cybernetic enhancements. He actually says it. He goes, this was my X-Men book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
My version of the X-Men.
This is my version of the X-Men with cybernetics.
Yeah.
Which was kind of funny. Because, they all have their stuff from somewhere. Jim Valentino did Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk number one. Now, these are, look at this. Embossed covers, $2.50 at the time.
Is that close to dark, too?
No, but it's very reflective. It's very reflective. And, Shadowhawk didn't kill people, he said. He maimed people, which is very violent, So a lot of these characters came from other places. I do have Pit number one, which I thought was a cool book that I always had, that I like to talk about. Pit number one. And then of all the runs, this was my favorite story. I don't know too much about it. These characters were pretty cool, but all the artwork looks the same. But it's Brigade number one. And I don't know if you guys saw this or collected this, but Brigade was a good run, and I really enjoyed it. So those are my Image books. My Youngblood number one, I've got to go look for it because obviously that was the first Image book.
Quick look at that Spawn one, please.
Who wants to look at it?
I want to look at it.
Tracy
All right.
Henderson says such great memories, though. I kind of like some of the writing done by
Look
Todd
at it.
in
Is it a
Spider-Man
9.6 or
1 through
9.8?
8.
Yeah, this is my Spawn number one. It's, with a press, I think it would work out anything. What's a 9.8 going for if it came back a 9.8?
One sold, what's today's date? 13th?
Yeah.
I believe so.
One sold Thursday for $3.49.
Stop the door. Unbelievable.
Actually, two sold Thursday.
Really? $1.95. It must be our next CGC submission. So
I better go see Rick.
Yeah.
Probably got 40s in his boss.
Yeah, exactly. So those were the two big topics that we wanted to talk about, and I think it's time for something else. So, Evan, how much time we got? What time is it? John Petray, Mr. Petray, what time we got there, buddy?
You got 22 minutes.
We got 22 minutes.
First?
I don't know.
No, I'm doing mine first.
All right, so this is it. This is the time we've been waiting for. Thank you, everybody.
Did you guys do a...
All right.
think the grades are?
Yes, we do have that. Where's my paperwork for that, Raj? I do have it right here. So, the last time we were on, Roger had his grades for his 4 or 5
All right,
books.
don't tell him what it is. I'm going to do a giveaway right now.
Get out of here, really?
I'm going to do a giveaway.
Well, you're giving away everything, man.
So,
I'll tell you, this is a great show to watch.
Here we go.
This is a great show.
Which one? You pick.
Oh, First Appearance of Bishop. One of my favorite books ever.
All right.
I named my dog after Bishop. I like
Here we
Bishop
go.
so much.
This is what I'm giving away. If you can tell me what book is inside this box.
Whoa! Love it.
No.
Love it, love it.
You have to walk.
For Shaver, we are nervous, right? There we go.
You have to
What
be able to tell me
book
what single book that I'm
Did
getting
Roger
back.
wait for?
I had
What
the other,
single book
I had
is
the other-
Roger waiting
I had
for?
the other 4 last time. I got one book.
Watched any of his...
If you watch any of
our
Red
shows.
Shirt.
even
No,
today.
his whole countdown was red shirted.
It's unbelievable.
Red shirt, you're right.
First Carnage, negative.
Who was that?
Older.
First Carnage?
No,
Negative.
Who said first
Not
Carnage?
older.
Fett. Wonker
He knows I'm a big
said.
Carnage
Not older
fan.
in a different
Someone's-
It's
universe.
not Teen
That's
Titans.
right. No, so this is pretty big. This is pretty big. Do you want to give a hint?
Hint. It's a rogue.
It's a Batman book, everyone. Come on. Deadpoolica said.
Yes, it
Does
is.
Deadpoolica know it? Deadpoolica,
It's
thumbs
okay.
up if you know it.
Win a book?
He said someone say it.
Deadpool could probably already has 10 copies.
Yeah, I know. First
You don't
Bishop?
think I don't want to win anymore.
Oh, yeah, my God.
Batman 171.
Negative.
Whoa, close.
Close.
Who was that?
Wonkers.
First Poison Ivy.
It is, but that's not Batman 171.
Right, that was the second
No,
question. There was two.
guess.
Walker said
Yeah,
171.
who said-
Oh, Shaver hit it. 181.
Yep, you got
Shaver
it.
said 181.
Hey, Shaver.
There we go.
All right, so
All right,
P-
hold on a second.
PM
This is
me,
good.
PM me your address, Chris, and I will send this to you.
Yeah. So
Alright,
this
so-
is going to be really good right now.
If you don't private message me, I won't remember to send it to you. All right.
the great story behind
All right, so the story behind the book is Bernie wanted
Three big men in a
yeah three
Yeah.
big men in a little car. We all took a road
Three
trip.
guys in a little
We
car.
took a road trip up to MegaCon in Massachusetts.
Yep.
And on the way up, I had some cash saved, and I told them I'm buying something today.
Yep.
I don't know
He's
what
buying
it
a
is,
big book.
but I'm buying a big book. And we got there, and there was 3 vendors selling books that were ain't worth a damn.
Yeah,
and
it was
it was
awful.
very depressing. There were people with some short boxes with 50-cent books.
Yeah.
And I went around, and I really thought, I'm going to be saving my money. And I came one more time around, and I spotted this Batman 181 on the wall.
Through our friends, J&S
To our friend
Collectibles,
J&S Collectibles.
out of Connecticut, but they hit shows all up and down all the East Coast. J&S
Right.
Collectibles.
So
Give them
I-
a follow on Instagram.
I asked to see it. I put it back.
Ex-illusionary said Shaver's the man.
Yeah, he definitely is.
I asked to see it. I put it back. I walked around. An hour later, I came back. The woman, the wife at J&S Collectibles looked at me. She goes, though it still has the poster inside. What a
Unbelievable.
saleswoman.
What
I
did she
said,
hit it?
I'll take it. And
Okay.
that was the end of it. So I bought it raw because, as we still say the last time,
Yeah.
I like it raw.
That's right.
And
So,
pressed it with Impressive Comics
Yep.
and sent it to CGC.
all right. So,
And-
hold on. We are happy with a 6.5 to 7. We're unhappy with a 4.5.
Right.
All right.
So 6.5 to 7. is what I
Drum roll,
wanted.
please. All right. Look how well they packed this. This is great. I mean, this is fantastic.
This is making me angry.
There we go. All right.
All right.
All right. We hit a big,
What
so
the
I
hell's
don't
all
know.
this stuff?
kind of in the middle. We're in the middle right here.
Deadpoolica says he's going to be unhappy.
Yeah.
All right.
So we hit a 5.
I'm not disappointed.
Okay.
Totally.
Totally.
I
Still
did.
got it for a good price.
I still got it for an unbelievable price.
Yeah.
And I
Can I
think
see if it's
I
off-white
think
to white?
I think we've done. So it's a off-white pages.
Okay. I'll take that.
That's good PQ.
I
Yeah.
definitely, I'm going to look at the grader notes now that I've seen it. I can go look at the
You're
grader
a
notes.
CGC guy.
I can
Oh,
go
you
look.
paid for the grader notes?
No, I don't. It's included in my membership.
So you paid extra.
That was the neutral.
No, I
feeling,
paid for
right?
the
Yeah.
membership.
2.0.
That was the neutral area.
Okay, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
free
Here,
for
you know what? Let's just throw this over here. Look, we're not messing around here. We're not messing around.
The membership. So, I'm not. I guess I'm not upset because of the price I paid. And it's a key book. And then we
Deadpoolica
talked.
says great grade.
Yep.
What's the grade? 5.0.
We 5.0, and we talked about how much harder it is to find a book like this as compared to the Hulk 181.
Correct.
How many?
Of these same
Not
grades.
only of how many were produced, but how many are actually left that still have the pinup inside,
Yep.
complete. I'll take it. This is one of my. I don't have a lot of old books, so this
No, that's
is
a good book.
This is a huge book for me.
5.0 still.
Yes,
Carmen
I'm very,
Infantino cover.
very happy
You know
with
what I
this.
mean? Very
and,
good.
Very, very happy.
All right, so we'll stick with that. You know what I mean? That was in the gray area. So we had that book, Carmen Infantino, with the pinup. First appearance of Poison Ivy. Abby Rose, weren't you Poison Ivy one time for our Comic Cons?
I was.
You were. She was a great Poison Ivy. All right.
2 years ago.
So now we're gonna unbox my 4.
What are your 4 books?
We have 4 books. We have Godzilla #1, which was a complete hookup from my buddy KP Henderson. Now I'm going to give a huge, huge shout out to, again, like I always do, to my boy Chris Shaver out down in Texas. He does all my pressing. He's been doing a great job for me. I really appreciate it.
Deadpoolica
So-
says down the rabbit hole for Batman villain keys.
There we go. We'll have to see what happens with that. So he pressed all these books, and we're going to see. He had an idea. So I wanted Shaver to say, Shaver, The Batman, the Teen Titans, the Green Lantern, and the Batman 151. He can plug in his grades and tell me what he thinks. He's a very conservative grader.
151 or 155.
150. Penguin.
155.
155. I apologize. That's why I have an executive producer. You know, I'm just the monkey that stands in front of the camera. Yeah. So we're going to talk about this. So my Godzilla 9 point. You know, why don't you open these up?
All right.
Why don't you open these up and tell me?
Because you had such good luck with the first.
Well, no, he was on fire. You know, he still had a great run.
The first four, I was dead on.
Dead on. You were dead on. But I'll tell you.
So what is your expected grade?
All right. So hold on.
No, he's gonna
I'm going to tell you what book.
You're going to tell me what book. I'm going to tell you what grade. You know, we do have an audience going on right now. We have Zozo's Arena just showed up. The Momager just came back from a great day. We have Cristiano, the Lego King, hanging out. We have Carson, the Minion from Phantom Brewing, hanging out. And we do have the head brewer from Phantom Brewing hanging out, Cylinder Grotto, as our audience. So
Really, your first studio audience.
this is a great studio audience right now. You know, and it's been a great day. So we're having a lot of fun right now.
So your first book is... Oh, what the hell is this all about?
All right, my first book.
Teen Titans 2.
All right, so Teen Titans 2 is a book I bought off Very Gary for a great price. Chris did press it for me. There was some imperfections at the time. I am very conservative with this book. I think 8.5. Unhappy at an 8.0. Ecstatic at a 9.0. So, what do we have here today, good friends? What do we have here? An 8.0.
Unhappy.
Wah, wah, wah.
And once again, we'll check the grader notes and
we'll
see
take
what they
a
have
look.
to say.
This is okay, though. I still appreciate this book. I love this book. It's white pages.
Says 9.6 on Godzilla or 9.4.
Okay.
Hey, Roger, do you have an Eagle shirt on under that sweatshirt?
All right.
And
Tommy, go to sleep.
Dad Pulika thought it was going to be a 9.4.
All right, so I thought 8.5 were better, but I do want to say though that I do have a raw copy of this, which is the absolute one of the pinnacles of my collection. I bought it when I was a kid. I did have it double signed by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. This is not that. This wasn't the bait and switch one? This was not the bait and switch. So that's a whole other story for another time. So I got an 8.0. Teen Titans number 2. Very Gary gave me a great price.
You're gonna be turning that around.
You know what? I don't think so. You know, I might just buy a 9.4 or a 9.2.
Turn that around. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'll have 3 copies of it. All right. So that's okay. So thumbs down for my first book. Oh well.
Chris says that's what I thought it was. What was the page quality?
Page quality was. I know Chris was right. See, I'm a dreamer.
It says white pages.
Yeah.
It says white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad Pulika had wishful thinking for you.
Yeah.
There's got to be something.
That's very important.
There's got to be something else on there. That
there's got to be something that I
if you
missed.
cracked and
But
sent
that's
it back.
okay.
All right.
So,
Next one is Godzilla.
Godzilla. What did my buddy KP Henderson?
9.6 or 9.4?
All right. I think 9.4. Chris Shaver.
Dad Pulika also said 9.4.
Chris Shaver. What do you think the Godzilla will come back at?
Do you buy it from him?
No, but he pressed it. So he pressed it, so he got it. So we're waiting on Godzilla number 1. Chris Shaver says 9.0, 9.2. I think 9.4. We have KP Henderson's.
Are you disappointed with?
Definitely disappointed with actually a 9.2. I'm disappointed with a 9.2. So I'm disappointed with a 9.2. Yeah, I got high standards. Woo! Yeah, Hiawatha.
9.66.
The first appearance of the radioactive giant lizard Godzilla. Very happy with this.
Yeah.
You know, this is how good the IG community is. You know, we all, everybody that we talk to and communicate with, we have collections from all over the country. You know, Kevin was such a great guy. He knew I was after this book. He sent it to me. We sent it out to Chris. So it went from Kevin in Georgia to me in Connecticut toRis in Texas. And now it comes back to Florida, back to Newington, to Florida.
To my hands.
Woo! You know what? Can I get a flex for that? I'm going to get a flex for that, baby.
Henderson says, can I pick them or what?
Woo! Maybe you can edit things and fix it. So pick them. That's awesome. So 9.6, Herb Trimpe art, rest his soul, 877. Man, I am happy about that. That makes my day.
Ecstatic.
That makes my day.
I'm happy
so
for you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I
I am.
So,
that's
we
an awesome
are,
grade. That's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable.
All right,
Unbelievable.
Batman 155.
Batman 155. Let me tell you a story about Batman 155. I bought Batman 155 off John Cimino, who is Super Amigo Stretch Hulk on Instagram. He gave me a great price on this book. I knew it was a high grade, so I had it sent away, and it's going to come back. Now, this book is an old book. I mean, we're talking early 60s. So I'm thinking it's going to be a 6.5 to 7.5. I'm disappointed anything less than a 7. So and this is the first Silver Age appearance of the Penguin. Chris, what do you think that's coming back at?
Chris says 5.5.
5.5. Chris Shaver.
Chris Shaver says 5.0, 5.5 if I remember.
If you remember, okay. All right. So let's see. Here we go. And we have it coming back at a 6.0.
6.0.
Nice.
All right. So that
I think that's a
is-
good grade for that book.
That,
He said 6.5 to 7.5.
Disappointed at under a 6.0, I said.
Yeah.
Red Bull thought you were going to be disappointed.
No, but
Yeah,
let me
I
tell you
think that's
something.
good.
This book came out in 1963.
Off-white to white pages?
Off-white to white pages. Now, PJ Comics, Plague, my buddy, PJ Play Comics, he's huge on the pages, and I think Kevin is too. So that's a 6.0 off-white to white. For the money that I paid, I'm good. I'm good. You know, I said under a 6, I'm disappointed. So I'm at par. So I'm disappointed, happy, and par.
If it was above 200s,
Yep.
you should be disappointed. But
Yeah.
above 200s?
All right.
No, this is a great book right here.
So
Look at
Green
that.
Lantern number 7.
All right, now let me tell you about Green
first
Lantern number 7.
LOD.
LOD, baby. LOD. Can we get an LOD? So, if for you guys that don't know, that follow us often, me and the executive producer, Bernie1869, we are huge fans of the Super Friends and more importantly, the Legion of Doom. So, little by little, we are chipping away at the Legion of Doom first appearances from the show that you watched when we were kids, because that was a comic show that I watched as a kid. I loved it. You know, the skull would come up out of the swamp. It had Grundy, Sinestro, Captain Cold, Grodd, everybody like that, Luther, stuff like that. Giganta, you know.
Black Manta, number
Black
1.
Manta. So we have been chasing. This book has been a personal grail for me, and
Chris Shaver says 6.0.
6.0.
On the
Okay.
GL.
On the Green Lantern? Okay, I'll take that. So I bought this book. I want to give a few comments. Nemesis Prime hooked me up with, told me that Zap Comics had it for sale. Zap Comics is in Wayne, New Jersey. It's absolutely my favorite comic shop of all time. X-Men 56. Excuse me, that's definitely I Heart Zap Comics.
I heart Zap
Yep.
Comics.
So my boy John and Mike, all from Jersey, and Justin, they love Zap Comics. We agree too.
I love it too.
You know, Pat Howe agrees. What did you give that comic shop for your comic book rating? What's that?
9.8.
He gave it a
9.8.
9.8 comic shop
9.8.
rating.
If you knew
They-
Everett flew up there.
Bright white pages.
Oh my God! I won't even tell you the funny
I
story.
thought that was a secret stash.
No, that was at Zap. You know.
Oh.
So I'm gonna end this story with something kind of gross, but it's funny how the world works. So anyway, so this is now.
8
This is
minutes
Green
left?
Land number 7.
Alright, yeah.
I want a 5.5 to 7. I'm disappointed with with a less than a 5, but Green Lantern number 7 is the first appearance of Sinestro. And my biggest gripe with this book is what, executive producer?
Sinestro's not on the cover.
The villain is not on the cover. How could you
It
not
happens a
have?
lot back in those days.
What's that?
It happens a lot back.
Second
Well-
appearance of Punisher. He's not on the cover, so he
You know,
doesn't get credit.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So, this is a huge grail. This is going on my wall. For you guys to know, I got tons of pictures on Otto's Grotto. So, Chris Shaver, what was his comment? I'm sorry.
6.0.
6.0?
Is that what he's in?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. I want 5.5 to 7. I'm happy with a 5. And the consensus is 5.5. All right. So that was where I'm at.
5.5.
So right in between. All right. Right in between. Off-white pages. Gil Kane and Joe Grello art. 1961. I mean, can I be upset that this book, you know, is a 5.5 when it came out in 1961? I mean, that's 10 years older than me, and I'm pretty old. So
Wait a minute. I've been interrupting here, but that Walking Dead is laying in front of something else, right?
yes,
I'm
yes,
like, you got it
yes. No, I did not get it back. So this, though, I'm actually very happy with this. This was a 5.5. I paid that I paid for it like a 4. But anyway, so very happy. What's somebody saying?
You. It's what you said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm kind of happy. I kind of paid for a 4.
Yeah, no. So anyway, so those are the books that we have. The next thing we have going on, I'm going to send out my Walking Dead 1, 2, and 3. You got anything you're sending out anytime soon?
Yes.
I know I'm kind of putting you on
Sending
the
this
spot.
one?
But, okay.
I bought this on eBay. I got it back. I bought it. First no. I forgot to look at the seller. And once I paid the money, I saw that it was the first thing they ever sold on eBay.
Oh boy.
And then I didn't get the book right away. She didn't have a tracking number. And I said, well, you better have used cardboard or you're going to be happy when you get it. Well, I got it in a padded envelope, folded slightly in my mailbox.
Unbelievable.
I was going to ask for a partial refund, but after looking at it for what I paid for it, I got what I paid for it, so I'm not even going to worry about it. But I'm going to send this out. And I have a Batman 30? First, 30 or 31. First, Gwen Stacy and
Amazing Spider-Man.
yeah, Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
No, Amazing Spider-Man. Is
Yeah.
30? Is that what? 31. Amazing Spider-Man 31. I'm gonna have.
I won the trivia. I won the movie Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh yeah,
All right,
you're
we're
a smart
proud of you. Very proud of you. I'm gonna have that pressed and sent out along with this one.
All right.
All right.
So we might send a few
I'm
other
looking
modern
forward
books.
to this movie. Anybody else?
There you go, Alpha Flight number 1. All right.
No.
Oh, Venom, Lethal Protector. I'm
5
looking at
minutes. I don't know if you saw the clip from the Brazil Comic-Con where they talked to the director of Venom and Tom Hardy, and all they would reveal was that Lethal Protector was the storyline with the Planet of Symbiotes. So
I need to get that.
I
That's
bought.
gonna pop.
Lethal Protector.
As soon as I heard that, I was it was a spot. One of the, what do they call it when they put the candy near the register so you'll buy it? Impulse buy, and they had the complete Lethal Protector set in one little bag by the register at our LCS, so I scooped it up.
Really? Very nice.
No, at Arts. And
I
then
just said.
I thought you. Oh yeah, the eye opener. I can't wait to see these guys on screen. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
they
it's
eventually
coming.
do it.
It's coming. Alpha Flight A. It's my A. my family from the north. Mutants from Canada.
Yeah,
A.
there you go. Hey, Canada.
I can't wait to see Alpha
What
Flight.
about them?
I don't know how they're going to make it work, if it's going to be integrated with the mutants from Old Man Logan, whatever it is, but I'm looking forward to seeing them on screen.
That's awesome. So I do have a few other modern books that I'm going to send. So we're going to see what happens. Going to pay some Christmas bills. So this has been a great show. Thank you very much for everybody who helped out. You know, the reposting, the watching of it. It's going to go on YouTube. So please subscribe to us on YouTube. 3 Men in the Basement, all one word.
All one word.
All one word. I'm
We
gonna.
need a poster that says that.
Markers, no thumbs down, even though he's wearing a Michigan hat, please.
Oh, come on. There we go. So this is going to go on, like I said, our YouTube channel. We've got a few subscribers. We're starting to build it up. This is a lot of fun for all three of us, you know, and it's just been a great show. So thank you very much. I am Otto, and I am signing out from my grotto. Mr. Roger, what would you like
see
to
you
say?
till next time.
Yeah, Bernie 1869.
Peace.
Peace out. We have the brewer, Mr. John Petray from Phantom Brewing. Thank you very much.
3
We have
Men in
the
the Basement
momager.
Pale Ale.
Pale Ale. 3 Men in the
And our
Basement.
camera woman,
Yep,
Miss Evelyn Rose.
And we have our assistant, Zozo Zarina, hanging out. So we thank you very much for joining us, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Thank you.
Peace, guys.
Peace. Awesome. All right.
All right.
36 viewers.
What?
What?
Not at one time.
Hey, we are getting out there.
We're gonna, I told you, you're gonna hate it when we make it big.
You had 5.
We're gonna make it
34.
big.
Fluctuates the whole time, but total